almost all of us are aware that the media we consume shapes our perceptions, and despite being aware of our biases, we often feel unable to overcome them unless presented with evidence. Nonetheless, it is the negative image of a place or person that prevents us from approaching it. In such a time, some has taken on the responsibility of visiting misrepresented parts of the world, demonstrating the human side of things. Good day and welcome to the channel. The subject of today's video is someone who has progressed from a regular travel YouTuber to a full-fledged modern-day journalist, demonstrating what mainstream media would not bother with. Nick Fisher, better known as Indigo Traveller on YouTube, has introduced many of his viewers to what the real world looks like, rather than what governments want us to believe it looks like. The name was inspired by the meaning of the word indigo, which refers to the act of skipping around barefoot with your head in the clouds. Nick is a former horticultural apprentice from New Zealand who has traveled to many countries, including North Korea, Bangladesh, Venezuela, Somalia, Pakistan, Iraq, Brazil, Lebanon, and others. He began his journey in Southeast Asia countries such as Vietnam, Cambodia, India, and Nepal, and then continued his journey around the world. On his journeys, Nick not only breaks down stereotypes, but he also encourages people to do their own research and not buy into the mainstream narrative. In his most recent series, he traveled to Yemen, Nigeria, and war-torn Ukraine. In a 6-part series about Nigeria, not only did outsiders get to see how things were, but natives were also confronted with the guilt of ignorance. One person commented that they couldn't believe it took someone from another continent to show them what life is like and far away, while some Nigerians in the comments said they never ventured to the northern parts. His travels certainly highlight a more positive side to the land by elevating the nature of the people above stereotypes, but more importantly, they help spread awareness about the real problems rather than the superficial ones. For example, his experiences in Yemen demonstrated that the real issue is not the prevalence of guns, but the way citizens are forced to cope with the government's failure. Indeed, some Yemenis claim they were unaware of the ongoing conflict in Yemen until a few months ago. He even visited Ukraine a few months ago, first reporting from the border and then entering the destroyed cities and driving through the destroyed roads. His efforts and bravery were well-deservedly praised. He depicted the ground reality of how the war has affected innocent civilians with such nuance that mainstream media only covers a fraction of what he did. Viewers thanked him for being brave enough to enter their city of Kharkiv and show the world the reality that the locals cannot. Nick believes in giving back to the community that has welcomed him and has organized a number of fundraisers. For example, funds were raised for Ukrainians fleeing their homes after the outbreak of war, and funds were raised for a Nigerian orphanage in the slums. Not only that, but he is involved in fund transfer installments, project monitoring, and general project oversight to ensure that it is carried out effectively and transparently. Nick's content only goes on to demonstrate that poor countries are the ones suffering from major inequality as a result of the economy and government. The channel currently has 1.59 million subscribers and 1.79 million viewers on 385 videos. The channel's most popular video is Inside North Korea, Surreal Experience, which has been viewed over 10 million times in the 4 years since it was uploaded. Nick's YouTube viewership is worth around $20,000 per month, and he also has a Patreon account where people can contribute financially to his endeavors if they so desire. Finding reliable sources and forming one's own well-informed opinion is undoubtedly more difficult than taking things at face value and believing in someone else's skewed view of the world, but it is just as worthwhile. If you're looking for a new way to look at things, I recommend checking out Indigo Traveller via the link in the description. If you enjoyed watching this video, please leave a like and hit the subscribe button for more like it.